Alright. Hi, welcome to week 6. So this is going to be a fun week. Like I said last week, I had to go out of town for a few days, which means, yeah, it's been a fun week. So, basically, this first video, of course, as usual, is the weekly update. This is normally where I would show you like the full panel. Like usually I do the weight, I do how many steps I did, give you averages. And I'm sorry about the sniffling, by the way. These allergies are killing me. But I'll do my sugars, I'll do my blood pressure. But this week had a plot twist. And so we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it honest this week. So just really quick, as for steps, I didn't get an actual average, but just by some pure miracle, looking through all my stuff, I got about 5,000 steps a day at least. Not counting the weekends. And I'm going to let you know about the weight and go through a few other things. But basically, changes since last week. And like I said, we're going to tell you everything, even if they're not the fun ones. But we did end up with last week where I was ending up at 232.3. And this week I ended at 236.5. So I gained 4.2 pounds. I will tell you on the 11th, I did hit this beautiful new low of what did I say? 229.9. But I spent some days away. I didn't track. I didn't exercise. I didn't do my routine. And rebounds happen. It's not ideal. But it's also not permanent. But this is my data. So, end of this week, you know what? It's okay. You know, like I said, I got about 5,000 by some pure miracle steps a day, but that was also by some pure miracle, no lie. But, so anyways, that was, like I said, we usually go through the full panel, but that's really all I'm going to go through. Because this week, and only this week, we're going to go over a few other things real quick. But real quick, this week, like I said, I barely tracked anything. Saturday and Sunday, I'm here, hi y'all, I'm doing editing and stuff like that. Monday was an absolutely beautiful day. I did all my exercises. I got off work, I walked around, I went up the stairs. Great day. And then I had everything packed. I had all my weights packed in a little suitcase. But we're driving, so you know, we don't want to talk about planes. But all packed in a little suitcase. Everybody please feel sorry for my husband, because guess who had to carry said suitcase? I had my yoga mat. I had plans where I was going to walk. I was like, this is where I'm going to do my stairs. And I got there and it all went out the window. I think I opened up that little suitcase for a sweater that I had packed in there because I forgot to pack in my regular bag. Yeah, just all went out the window. Oh well. I had my blood pressure machine packed. I had my glucose meter packed, and didn't test. I had my Kindle Scribe with me, ready to go, ready to write down my stuff. I had my cards with me. That stayed in its little thing. That didn't go anywhere either. Yeah. So, what did I do instead? I decided to basically just go out and have a good time. I did. And the thing, and the thing is, you can do that. I mean, you can. You just kind of have to, as always, everything that you do, live with your choices. And this is what happened. I gained 4 pounds. Hey! Best part about it, I get home Friday. And Friday, I decided to finish off my week strong. I didn't do anything. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna work on my video stuff. And I made like little adoption cards for 2 of my little strays that kind of stay around here. I mean, that was a good thing, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I didn't do really much on Friday either. But the thing is, I can't really update things if I don't track things, one. And two, do I regret it? Not really. I really don't. I mean, I had fun for a few days. I gained a little over 4 pounds. It sucked. Am I shocked? No. Because I kind of went, which I really shouldn't have done, especially when I'm like, oh, I hit that. Well, believe me, when I hit that 229, that is a number I haven't seen in a very, very long time. I was super excited, and I was like, yeah, ready to go. And didn't work as well as I thought. Anyway, so that's what happened there. Or one from my cat's come in here to start scratching on a scratching post. Anyway, so hold on a second. Pause. That's not pause. Okay, I'm back as always. Cats into everything. I tried to ask Kitsune if she wanted to be on the video, and she just kind of wiggled her little tail at me and ran off. So I guess that's a no. She'll be back. Anyway, going forward is basically what this week is. I said the really simple things, and then I'm just going to explain about some things that I decided I want to change up a little bit. So basically going forward, this is, for this video, I'm just going to tell you about what's going to happen. I'm going to be moving to 3 videos a week, but there's basically nothing new is happening other than 3 videos. I'm just kind of splitting. Video 1 is kind of getting its nice little glow up, and we are now going to call our first video PAWS, and this is going to be progress and weekly stats. So this is going forward, be the weekly check-in. It's going to give you those real numbers when I track, and I promise we'll be back to tracking, just this week wasn't it. It's going to be the real week, the real chaos, the real progress, or non-progress. So for week 1, if I would start off this video, I'll be saying, welcome to PAWS. This is progress and weekly stats, the weekly saga of me versus my goals, where the only inconsistent thing is inconsistency. The chaos is constant. There's always at least one questionable decision, and yes, I will hiss at the scale when necessary. So that would be video 1. Video 2, and again, it isn't anything new, but this is, I'm going to move the yarn to what we were doing before. I would do all those stats, and you go through all that boring stuff, and then I talk about what we started to call yarn. And so basically with the stats and the yarn, it just kind of made this a full, feature-length film every week. So it's, an hour of things going through. I'm still learning how to do things. It just kind of seemed like a bit much. So now the yarn's finally going to get its own space. We're going to do that for the video 2. And the yarn is basically going to stand for your awareness, your resilience, and your nurturing. Now normally this is where we're going to tug at basically one health thread each week. We're going to learn about the science, the why, the how. We're going to try and unravel into something that actually makes sense. Sometimes I'm going to be the one that researches it. Sometimes Koneko, that is my co-pilot that I've named it, researched it. And to be real, a lot of time it's Koneko that researched it. But I do double check. We all know AI. Check but verify, because sometimes it's wrong. So yes, I do research. It's just usually I just tell it what I want to do. It says, oh, this is the information I found. And I go, okay, let me go look into that. But either way, it's still going to be your yarn. Okay? Now just to let you know, this week, when we get into video 2, it's going to be kind of more of a PSA, public service announcement, because I'm going to talk about 2 things this week in the yarn. We're going to talk about PTSD and the importance of fixing your cats, the importance of neutering and spaying. Yes, they're 2 very different topics, but they're both extremely important, and they're both things that people just don't talk enough about. Okay, so we'll go into that when we get to that. Those allergies, God. And then, of course, the 3rd video. This is nothing new. This was normally the 2nd video, which was I was calling it the Weekly Spotlight. We're changing it up to call it the Claw. We gotta make everything cat, right? This is the Calico Journey, the claws. And what it is it's gonna be basically where I talk about the tools, products, the apps, the programs, or just random things that have helped me along my journey. Um, just, you know, anytime, not just this current week, just anytime throughout my journey. There have been things that made my life easier, made my life healthier, made my life calmer, more functional, and it's all going to go in that weekly spotlight. And again, that name, the new cat themed name we're going to start calling that is the Claw. It's going to be the cool lifestyle and wellness. Just kind of an overall, let's cover everything. And again, some weeks it's going to be a product. Some weeks it's going to be an app. Some weeks it's a YouTube creator. Some weeks it's going to be one of the full programs that I actually do. Let's see here. Basically, if it's supporting my journey and along the way, it's going to get its moment in the Claw. Just to let you know, this segment was almost called Whisker, but Whisker was an acronym in Fever Dream, and we needed something that didn't require a decoder ring. So Claw it is. So welcome to Claw, cool lifestyle and wellness, the part of the week where I spotlight something that's helped me in my journey. Let me see here. Now this week in Claw, I will be spotlighting some grounding and mindset cards, and a system that I use every day. Well, every day. I remember. Sometimes not on weekends. Me and my weekends, I didn't do them today. I should have, but I did. That was one. No, I didn't. I picked out the cards for my trip, and then didn't do them. But I put them in when I got back. I still got them. I don't know, but I do try to do them every week. So we're going to talk about some cards that have helped me out and some systems I've used. You can see them right over here. We'll talk more about that. And basically they help me reset, breathe, refocus, and they stay out of the full gremlin mode with things that kind of chaotic. So that'll be the Claw. So yeah. This week wasn't all that much. As we can see, I decided that stressing over it was not my vibe. I'm going to not stress. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to, I made my decision. That's what I did. I had fun. Okay? But next week, because also in this health segment, I almost forgot to say, this health segment, we're also going to talk about this is what happened this week. This is what I'm planning on next week. If I'm planning on anything, which a lot of times that doesn't come to my brain. Anyway. But yeah, next week, Monday, I'm back in it. I do apologize to my knees, but we are going to go back up those stairs that you hate so much, but we need to get back in track, okay? Because I know exactly where those 4 pounds came from, and I'm not letting them stay. Alright? So while we're going to get back to work next week, get myself back on track, I was allowed to have my week, okay? So, like I said, finally made this thing a little bit short. Probably be longer in the coming weeks, but we're not as long as before because it's going to have like half of it in a different video. So from here, as always, please like, comment, and subscribe, because if I'm dragging myself up the stairs again next week, you're coming with me. Alright? Progress counts even if you take tiny steps, or tiny cat steps, or only move when you feel like it. If you're following along this chaotic little health journey, you might as well stick around. Alright? So, hopefully I see you in the second video. Very hopefully I see you next week. Y'all have a good one. Alright? Bye.